All right, today we're diving into the really high stakes world of selling one of the most valuable assets on the planet, a luxury beachfront home. And let me tell you, this isn't just regular real estate. It's a unique blend of art, economics, and, some serious strategy. So let's break down how the pros really get it done. Okay, let's really dig into this quote because it gets right to the heart of it. Selling a coastal home, it's just fundamentally different from any other deal. Why? Because you're not just selling square footage, you're not just selling a structure, you are selling an experience, a view, and a lifestyle that frankly comes with its own unique set of challenges and massive opportunities.
So, what are we talking about here? Well, this whole strategy really boils down to a three-phase operation. First, you've got to master the asset itself through just meticulous preparation. Second, you have to defend its value with some scientific level pricing. And finally, you execute a campaign that doesn't just market the property to the entire world, but also protects it legally. It's this powerful mix of art, economics, and law. Okay, phase one. This is all about mastering the property. And look, this goes way beyond just cleaning up a bit. This is about psychology. It's about understanding what a luxury buyer is truly looking for, and then enhancing the single greatest feature of any coastal home, which is, of course, the view.
This is it, the absolute core principle, the one rule to rule them all. Every single staging decision you make, I'm talking from the color of the paint to the height of the sofa, it has to serve one purpose, and one purpose only, to frame, enhance, and just pull the buyer's focus straight to that multi-million-dollar view.
Now, this slide is so interesting because it points out a really common and very costly mistake. The goal is to evoke the feeling of the coast with sophisticated, natural textures, not to literally replicate it with a bunch of kitschy decor. You're aiming for an elegant retreat, not a theme party, right? And here's exactly how you do that. These aren't just, helpful suggestions. These are strategic actions. Taking down heavy drapes, you're literally removing a barrier to value. Arranging low-profile furniture to face the water, that's subtly telling the buyer, hey, this is what your life is like here. Every one of these actions helps create this tranquil, high-value canvas that lets the view do all the heavy lifting. For this kind of property, curb appeal is a two-sided coin. The street view is important, of course, but you could argue that the waterside appeal is the true first impression, especially since so many wealthy buyers see the property for the first time in a drone shot online. That view from the water, it has to be absolutely perfect. And this whole idea extends to the outside too. Your decks and patios, they're not just amenities. Think of them as outdoor rooms. When you stage them with distinct zones for dining or lounging, you're effectively adding monetizable square footage in the buyer's mind. You're not just selling a deck, you're selling an entire alfresco lifestyle. Okay, so the house looks incredible. Now it's time to shift from aesthetics to the hard economics. We have to price it. And this is where the standard real estate playbook just gets tossed right out the window. A typical comparative market analysis, a CMA, which is how most homes are priced, it just doesn't work here. I mean, how can you price by square footage alone when studies show that up to half of a property's value can be tied up in the water frontage and the view itself? Every single one of these properties is truly one of a kind. And this is the crucial point. Specialists use a completely different tool, the hedonic pricing model. It's a super data-driven method that actually assigns a specific defensible dollar value to those things we think of as intangible, like the quality of the view or the type of beach. It's how you turn priceless into an actual number. And if you want proof of how powerful that model is, just look at this number. It perfectly illustrates the point. One academic study actually quantified what they called the view premium, and they found that a property with an unobstructed ocean view commanded a staggering 68.3% premium over a similar home without one. I mean, that's the power of data right there. Just look at how this table completely reframes the conversation. A conventional agent might ask, does it have a view? Yes or no? A specialist asks, okay, what's the quality of the view? What percentage of the ocean is visible? It's not just about having frontage, it's about the quality and, more importantly, the usability of that frontage. And here's a perfect real-world example of that. Think about it. 50 feet of private, sandy beach with a nice, gentle slope, that can be way more valuable to a buyer than 200 feet of a rocky bluff that needs a treacherous staircase just to get down to the water. Quality of the experience trumps raw quantity every single time. So the property is prepped to perfection, and the valuation is scientifically defended. Now for the final phase.
executing a two-pronged attack. You need a world-class marketing campaign to attract the perfect buyer, and you need ironclad legal prep to protect the seller.
Yeah, marketing a luxury asset like this is an active hunt. It really requires a cinematic arsenal. Drone photography is absolutely essential. I mean, it's the only way to visually prove that 68% view premium we were just talking about. And those 3D digital twin tours, they're totally non-negotiable for the international buyers who make up a huge piece of this market.
Your marketing has to connect on an emotional level. It has to sell the narrative. You're not selling a 3-bedroom house. You're selling the experience of waking up to the sound of waves, of enjoying sunset cocktails on that perfectly staged deck, of living a life of peace and tranquility. That's the story.
And this is a big but. At the same time, you have to protect the seller. This is the mitigation side of the campaign. It means you have to be meticulous and proactive, disclosing all the water-related risks, past, present, and in some states, even future modeled risks like sea level rise. Full transparency builds trust, and, well, it prevents lawsuits later on.
So when you take all this incredible complexity, everything from the psychology of staging and economic modeling all the way to evolving liability law, it all just points to one crystal clear conclusion.
You know, when you look at this list, you realize we are playing a completely different ballgame here. This isn't your average real estate toolkit. These are highly specialized skills you need to manage the entire process, from properly pricing the view to navigating the maze of coastal regulations.
And that brings up a really important question, one that kind of clarifies the stakes here. After everything we've just covered, can a general agent really pull off this kind of multidisciplinary strategy? The answer becomes pretty obvious, doesn't it? Trying to sell a complex coastal asset without a true specialist is just a massive financial risk. And that really is the final crucial point. All the perfect staging and brilliant marketing in the world can be completely undone by this one decision. The first mistake, the one that actually causes all the others like overpricing or bad marketing, is choosing an agent who just doesn't have the specific expertise. And so we'll just leave you with that thought. A coastal home is often an irreplaceable legacy asset. Getting top dollar for it isn't a matter of luck. It's a matter of strategy. And that strategy absolutely demands verified, specific expertise. Who are you going to trust with it?